Hello, super expanders. How are you doing today? I am just literally over here bursting with excitement to share today's guest with you. She is literally a true ray of light. She is just sparkles with just passion and love and gratitude. The moment I met her, I was like, ah, we're going to be friends. So, and I
Oh,
hope I haven't told her yet, but hopefully she agrees. I would love to share with you Michelle Demaree.
oh, Karine, I will totally be your friend. I felt the same way when I met you. Thank you so much. It's so awesome to be here.
So exciting. So, as you know, on the quick little introduction that I shared right before I introduced you, um, you may know Michelle from Instagram and her like wildly successful business and her handle Miss Diamond Ring. And if you go through and just like scroll through her Instagram, it's just pages upon pages of just beauty and sparkle. And I just sit there sometimes just drooling over all of the things. And we're going to get to all of that in just a minute. But you guys know I love to go deep straight off the bat. So Michelle, if you could just kind of share a little bit about who you are down to your core, to your soul. Who is Michelle?
I love that that's the first question you ask. Well, um, down to the core, when I think about why I'm here and what moves me, it's love and light. And that is like the highest level that my soul can ever get to. So I feel like I'm here to personally experience love at the highest possible level and frequency, and then help others experience love in partnership, right? I work with couples and women aligning with their highest self, their highest level of self-love. Yeah, and that leads to light, right? Like they're all connected. So at the core, that's who I am.
That makes me just I get all the chills with you sharing that. And what I find to be so interesting and amazing about this, because it's a conversation that I have with a lot of different people, is how when you start to really peel back the layers of who we are at our soul and our essence, when I speak to entrepreneurs, people will have their own businesses and they're really connected to that purpose of who they are at their soul, the connection to what they actually do in their businesses. It's like it makes so much sense. So on that journey of really uncovering who you are, like tell me a little bit about that. Like how did you come to know that it was really your soul's purpose to be sort of a conduit of love and light and really bringing that into other people's worlds?
Yeah. Well, it was my own journey of finding love within myself that kind of led me to this other side of Michelle. There was the first half of my life that was Michelle Demaree, that was, raised to two awesome parents in San Diego. I was raised kind of an achiever, a people pleaser. I felt my own personal validation through knowing that other people thought I was valuable through my achievements. So good grades, strong sales background, working to make money so I could be happy. That was my kind of, unintentionally, parents give us a blueprint because they want us to be happy, and it's generationally passed down. And so I feel like kind of the first 30 something years of my life, I had this blueprint that was incorrect. And it wasn't until I honestly kind of hit rock bottom, went through a divorce, went through some health issues with my daughter, and was at ground zero and ready to rebuild, that I discovered who I really was. And um, yeah, and that was the beginning. That was about 8 years ago. And I just started to learn so much more about myself and to understand my value. And once I kind of rebuilt my sense of self and self love, I was able to pour it outward and give it more to my daughter and more to my business. Like I used to work to make money and sell, like had a very strong sales background. And now it's like, I just want to add value. I want to connect with people. I want to make people's lives better. That is intrinsically what motivates me. And so it was kind of that journey, of hitting rock bottom, feeling like my life was over, being more miserable than ever, and being ready to rebuild. And it wasn't easy, but it's been the most incredible journey. And, like I say, I work with diamonds. I feel like we are all diamonds in formation. It's the heat and the pressure and the polishing and the rubbing and all these things that feel uncomfortable. But they are what build character and build wisdom and build brilliance and radiance and allow us to shine our brightest light. I couldn't be who I am today, and I'll be a better Michelle 10 years from now without that heat and pressure and hardship. So it's kind of like our soul's journey and lessons um, take us to our highest self.
Ah, I love the metaphor in there, and it really is so true that so often, I don't know, I don't think I've actually had a conversation with someone who is really living in their purpose and doing big things in the world that hasn't experienced real hardship, right? Because that's really when we start to connect with the depths of who we are. So listening to that, I'm sure people are like, okay, that's fine. So, but how did you get there? So what were some of the methods, the resources, the tools that you tapped into to rebuild, to actually connect and find who you were at your core and what was important to you?
Yeah. Well, I think one of the first, there were so many incredible resources along the way. It's like one thing I can say to anyone who's going through hardship is never be afraid to ask for help. Nobody can make it on their own. Nobody should make it on their own. There are so many amazing resources out there. A big one for me was Dr. Joe Dispenza. That was the beginning of like my new beginning, and it was the ability to visualize a life I didn't yet have and believe in it and trick my brain into this incredible life that I'm now living. I mean, it really, really, really works. So that I would say that a powerful community of just beautiful, soulful women who poured their support and love and belief into me, including my mom. And um, my dear friend Rebecca Cafiero, who's an incredible entrepreneur, she invited me to a retreat at Lori Harder that Lori Harder held, called the Bliss Project, and I heard her story and Danette May's story. Danette May went through a lot of hardship in a divorce with children, and at that time I was very, very unhappily married and kind of scared that I couldn't leave my situation. And it was that weekend that I realized, oh my God, I could start my own business. And in the past, I had worked at, high end retail, Harry Winston, Tiffany and Company, Van Cleef and Arpels. And I did not want to go back to retail because I had a little 1-year-old daughter. And I was like, what am I going to do? And it was that weekend that I realized I'm going to build my own business. I'm going to create my own thing and I'm just going to go for it. And I remember one of the things Lori had said was, we all struggle with imposter syndrome when we're going out on our own, and it's like we all question, who am I to do this? And the response is, who are you not to do this? And if you don't do it,
Mm.
someone else will. So that was it. That was the catalyst. And then it was just continued. Once I kind of set that intention, the most incredible women ended up in my field and helped me with hypnosis. Ryan Haddon, who's a powerful hypnosis coach. Um, yeah, hearing Carrie Green's story at Female Entrepreneur Association, hearing how she kind of built her career through hypnosis and visualization. I never realized how important that was. And once I tapped into it, I felt like I had like Aladdin's lamp and I could just, if I really worked, I could do it. And it was hard work alongside powerful, intentional belief in myself.
Mm, you are speaking my language here. So, I mean, the Super Expander podcast is rooted in expanders, in really the this like visioning and build like using mirror neurons in our brain, which allows us to basically look and view something and then be able to do it because we've seen it. So I love that you mentioned Joe Dispenza. I have been obsessed with his work for many, many years. And I don't know if you feel like this, but when I first started doing Joe Dispenza's meditations, I would afterwards almost feel like someone had massaged my brain.
Yes, I was buzzing and I felt this. I felt like a high, like a brain high.
Yes,
That
I
was
know.
unbelievable. The 45-minute meditations of like going underwater, floating. Oh, yeah, I still do them.
Yeah, so do I. And there's so much power in starting your day like that. It's like just everything just kind of falls into place after you basically set the tone for your day. You like set your mind up for absolute success when you take some time to really create the vision that you want to achieve. And then it's much easier to step right on into it and take action and implement and all the things.
I can't agree with that more. I feel like you attract who you are, not what you want. So if you're vibrating at like a high frequency, if you're really happy, if you feel aligned, and you start your morning that way, you're going to attract all these good things. If you start your morning um, off the wrong foot, a bunch of other bad things happen because you're just attracting this negative energy. And I feel like I learned that in kind of what I call my previous life. You know, I was focusing on what wasn't working and more things wouldn't work. Um, yeah, you do that in your relationship, in your business. So even when things are challenging, if you get very intentional about the outcome that you want to see and you just focus on that and see that, you almost have to trick yourself and put blinders on. It shows up. It really truly does. I if anyone can attest to that, I can. Like I have a global multi-million dollar business that started with no budget and just a vision and a dream board on my phone. No joke. And a bunch of really great hypnosises from Ryan Haddon. So yeah, very
And if
much believe in it.
Oh my gosh. And if that doesn't inspire you to start taking action on your dream, that you don't need to have, a huge amount of money sitting around to start taking action towards your vision, I don't know what will, right? The other thing that you mentioned that I really love is the power of your network and surrounding yourself with big thinkers, with getting in the room. So it's like, even if you don't feel like your circle of, the people that you spend time with in this moment is the circle that's really going where you want to go, you can start to get yourself in rooms with other people by attending events like the Bliss Project, which I mean, Lori Harder's Bliss Project, I think really both through her book and through her events have really shifted the trajectory of so many women's lives. I can't even imagine how many it
It's
actually is.
I know it's so incredible and powerful. And it all started with her own journey, right? To her own, self-love. And then once she reached this level of, oh my God, then she started to give back. And that's what all of us are here to do, you know? Yeah, it's kind of this beautiful, yeah. That's why like I never judge anyone with where they're at. If I meet some shitty, angry person with these crazy ideology or this or that, I literally look at them as a little child who grew up with the wrong blueprint, took a few wrong turns, and all they need to do is course correct. It's everyone. And at the end of the day, we are all the same. We're all souls looking for purpose, looking to align with our destiny, our highest selves, like why we're here. And honestly, I believe love is the highest. It's like it's connecting, it's making people's lives better, whether it's your child, your husband, your friends, women you don't know. And that's the beauty of when you get to this level, and I don't mean level from a prestige standpoint, it's like this spiritual level, then you just want to give back and pour it into other people. Because if it weren't for other women helping me when I was at my lowest, I could not be here. There's no way I could have done this on my own, you know? So yeah. And to what you were saying, Corrine, you become the average of who you hang around. They say the 5 people that you spend most of your time with, that's the average of who you are, right? So if you marry a toxic person, if you're surrounding yourself with best friends who are saying like, oh, who are holding you back with a lower vibration, I'm not saying to ditch them, but like, it certainly wouldn't hurt to surround yourself with women who are living the life that you want to live, or listen to their podcasts or go to their retreats, like you said. It absolutely is a game changer.
Oh, it absolutely is. Yeah. And there are ways that if your circle isn't there yet, you can start to get yourself in the room. You can start to read the books, listen to the podcast, and then maybe you're the one that shifts your circle. Maybe you are the rising tide for your circle, right? The
Yeah, you average
inspiration.
everyone up.
Yeah, because that is what happens, right? When we start to hang out and spend time with people who are doing things that are, a few steps ahead of us, that are doing big things, we start to play up. I don't know if you've played sports in grade school or
Yeah.
college or high school or whatever. And when you played a team or you played with a team that was maybe like a little out of your league, you tend to all of a sudden dig down a little deeper and find something there that you didn't even know was possible.
Yes. Yes. Well, that's like in good partnerships, couples that bring out the best in each other. That's because that's what they're doing for each other.
Yeah, it's like this
That
vortex, right? It's just like pulling everything up.
absolutely. And it works, conversely, you could average each other down and bring out the worst in each other. So, um,
Absolutely.
yeah.
So I want to kind of close a loop here when you were talking about Lori and serving. I want you to know that you kind of said that it's a full circle moment for yourself as well, because in the description or like the conversation about how you came to know who you are, your purpose, it circled all the way back to service. And what I want to really point out to everyone who's listening is I really truly believe that that is the evolution of connecting to your purpose. And what I think is ultimate wealth and success is when we are able to connect and find that place that we're not chasing the achievements, we're not chasing the money, we are actually showing up with just the purest intention of serving. All of the other stuff just actually falls into place. You actually can stop thinking about like, how much money am I going to make today? Or am I going to be able to buy that car or house? Am I going to get the thing? When we show
Mm.
up with the purest intention of service, it truly follows. Lead and the rest will follow.
It's so true. And the greatest value you can um, give is your own like truest authentic self, right? Like, and we're all here and we're all beautifully different snowflakes. So like even in my own business, right? Like I work in a very prestigious luxury field and niche, and I didn't come from that. I grew up from like, blue collar, hardworking parents. And I felt like a part of me felt like, oh, I need to act a certain way, like luxury is kind of snooty and aloof. And then I was like, fuck that. Like, I'm just going to be me, and I'm going to bring the soulful element of what I do to my business. And that's the beautiful thing about when you're running your own business or when you work for a company, you can always say like, how can I bring my unique self to serve other people, right? Because my story is like unique to me, and I hope it serves one or many women. And yeah, and then you could do that through your business too, right? Like, how can I create engagement rings like that are special for couples that are unique to their love story? How can I do something a little bit different that speaks to my soul, that inspires me? Because we do our best work when we're inspired, and also is inspiring to other couples, that makes them feel special. There's a book I cannot recommend highly enough called The Go Giver. And that book was a game changer for me. I had a shift even in my business about 4 years ago when I read that. And it just talked about, yeah, like abundance is about service. If you want to live, if you want to be rich, make others rich. If you want to find love, give others love. Like what you want, you give away and it will come back to you. That's just the
Mm.
way it works.
such a beautiful, no, it's just a beautiful way of being, and it's so liberating and freeing when you actually think about it. And it kind of
Mhm.
comes back to that whole full circle idea of kind of something that's like a part of your business now, which is the intention diamonds that you have, the diamonds with soul. So I want to talk about that because it's kind of this sort of reflector kind of conversation that we're having here about manifesting the life that you desire. And I think when I first learned about that particular line of yours, I was completely obsessed because I have a background in NLP, and NLP, there's something they're called anchors, right? And so having an anchor on your body, something beautiful like a
Mm.
diamond that you set an intention on that consistently reminds you of your intention, I believe helps you show up and consistently embody that intention.
It's so true. It's so true. So I studied that, right, with like Joe Dispenza, Marisa Peer, Lacey Phillips. It was, kind of like neural manifestation, and
Mm-hmm.
a visual reminder helps build the groove deeper, right? So this collection is, it was born out of kind of like me rebuilding my life, and thinking about how multifaceted women are. The fact that we have these energies that are strong and fierce and badass, like we give birth to children, and then are feminine and soft and nurturing and create harmony and peace, and inspire creativity, all these things. And so the collection is all of these different shapes and multifaceted shapes. And when you wear it, the whole idea is you pick a piece, whether a pendant for activate your heart chakra, your throat chakra, speak your truth, open up to love, earrings, ring, whatever. You set your intention, and then it's paired with a very powerful, just created with Francesca at Mastery, a hypno breathwork session where you set your intention, you align with it, you get deep into your theta state. So you're holding your diamond ring. First of all, how cool to not wait for your boyfriend to buy it for you, your husband to buy it for you, but to honor yourself and to celebrate your greatness as a woman, and to look at that every day and know that you did that for yourself. And then you set your intention, whether it's, a career move, abundance, a health, fitness, fertility, calling in your soulmate, forgiveness, protection. It can be a variety of things. It's usually good to have one, just one intention. You could do two. And even as a couple, right? When my couples get an engagement ring, I have them go through a sacred, ritual where they set their intention together. And so you complete this 20-minute powerful hypno breathwork session with your diamond, and now you've built a new groove in your brain. And that groove gets deeper and deeper every time you look at your diamond. And yeah, it's a visual way to manifest what you want. And it works.
Ah,
I mean, I have literally last year, yeah, I Jennifer called in her soulmate like within 3 months. It ended up being someone from like a high school love that came back around. She bought this intent. She bought the La Feminite diamond pendant, heart chakra. And within 3 months, she got her engagement ring from me 3 months after that. So within 6 months, she was engaged. I've
oh
had
my gosh.
women, hit seven figures. The stories keep growing. It has nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with the power within all of us. And why not have a visual reminder that's enjoyable? Yeah, you could put a rubber band around your wrist and snap it, for those automatic thoughts or whatever. But like, to honor yourself as something beautiful that's inspiring, and also becomes a legacy and an heirloom piece. It's pretty special. By the way, my phone is sitting on top of Francesca's intention diamond. Just
Oh
came
my
in.
gosh.
I
Oh,
can't wait
that's
to
so
tell her.
funny. Oh, I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
So we're kind of infusing the good vibes in it
We
right
are,
now. We
actually. We
are.
really are.
We'll have to tell her that. Oh my gosh. I love it. Okay, so we kind of already touched on this a little bit, but I'd love to dive a little deeper into it. So, who has been a super expander for you? Now, I know Rebecca and Lori were on the list of super expanders
Mhm.
for you, but I'd love to hear another story, another super expander of someone who has really paved the way for you, shown you, activated those mirror neurons in your brain that have brought you to where you are today?
Mm. Okay, I'm gonna give two. I want to give
Yeah,
five. It's so hard to narrow down to one, so I'm gonna do two, please.
we'll save that. We'll
Uh,
have to do a episode two, right?
yeah, expanders are everything. I would say the first is Marie Forleo. Taking her B school was
Mhm.
the beginning of my beginning. And it helped me think outside the box. And I didn't even complete the whole course. I just took enough of it to know that I could do it. Now I've never met Marie. I, and sometimes your expander is not someone you'll ever meet. But when you see a woman pave the way, a woman or a man pave the way and do something unique, and you're trying to do something unique, and I knew I wasn't going to do what she did, but I was going to do something like what she did in my own way. It inspired me and gave me belief in myself. So that's number one. Number two is Ryan Haddon. Ryan Haddon was introduced to me through a good friend, Jillian Barba, who is also a Reiki healer, who was also very helpful for me. I'm just like the most incredible community of women. I feel like I need to just throw them all together in a room. But Ryan Haddon does. She's a meditation coach, a meditation and hypnosis coach, and she created 3 personalized hypnosis sessions for me. One on self-love, that was the beginning, because she helped me rebuild my sense of self. And I'm not kidding you when I say like I am, yeah, like I'm me. I'm not going to say like I wasn't me before, but I'm the purest, most aligned Michelle Demaree I could ever be, and it's thanks to her help. And she recorded this meditation hypnosis for me, and I did it every night. I did it every night for years. And then like a year into that, we created one for abundance, because I was like, I'm really building this business, you know, the thought of selling 6-figure rings, by myself when I don't work behind a brand is scary. I don't know if I could do it. And so she created this hypnosis for me. Again, just 20 minutes. I would listen to the self-love and then the abundance one, and then go to bed or wake up at like 5 in the morning and do these. I mean, I did them religiously. And by the way, my business started growing. It started growing and growing and growing. New York Times, I started to get these write-ups that were just almost they magically would happen, which helped my business grow and expand, referrals, all this stuff. And then the third one was calling in my soulmate, because I wanted more than anything to find love, right? Once I had kind of felt complete and whole, I wanted to pour my love into a partner, and to feel a sense of completeness with Charlotte. It was just me and her during the pandemic, like just rebuilding, and it was hard and it was scary. So her support and what I loved about her, she never gave me any answers. She helped me find the answers within myself, because the answers are always within you. If you can get deep into your soul, into your highest self, the answer's there, of listening to your intuition. I think that was the biggest thing, is like a lot of the decisions I made in my life, I wasn't tapped into my intuition, and I would make decisions for the wrong reasons. Um, and now I make decisions intuitively, and I trust myself. I trust my gut, and that's it. It's a game changer. So yeah.
Oh, yeah, it is. And it's funny though, because it's kind of like a muscle, right? That we have to flex because and many of us, I think probably all of us at some point have been in that place and space where we make decisions based on outside influences, based on outside expectations and other people's beliefs and things that they've put onto us. And so sometimes that's really hard. Like your intuition gets turned all the way down and it's still there. It's always there, but it's humming at this like really low volume. And you have to start it through things like hypnosis and different techniques to start to turn the volume up so that you can differentiate what is the outside noise and you can turn the volume down on that and put your blinders on and stay connected to that inner wisdom.
It's so true. And the beauty of our soul is it has a funny way of forcing you to get to your highest self. And there are two things that I learned through Michael Beckwith called Kensho and Satori. And Kensho is the soul's enlightenment through pain, and Satori is the soul's enlightenment through joy and pleasure. So, I can look back to my life when when I made decisions and it didn't feel right. I was like, oh, this doesn't feel right, but this is safe. I should do this on paper. This is right, whether it was a job or a boyfriend. And I moved forward despite my intuition. And, all the lessons, all the painful lessons are Kensho that brought me back to ground zero to rebuild. And now I'm in Satori where I'm aligned. I'm closer to knowing myself, and life is fucking amazing. It's beautiful. It's blissful. It's enjoyable. It's easy. It's flowing. And that's just the way it works. And then if I make a decision against my intuition, against what I know is right, and I make it for the wrong reasons, Kensho's going to come back and bite me in the butt. That's just the way it works. So it's like, you're always being guided by your highest self. Sometimes it's painful and sometimes it's awesome. And you'll know either way.
I love that. I'm going to have to, did you read that? Is it a book that we can read?
Well, okay. So I learned that on Mind Valley. Mind Valley has been a really powerful platform for me.
Love Mind Valley.
Mm-hmm. I listened to their podcast like 2 hours a day for 2 years because I was just feeding and filling my cup. But Michael Beckwith was on Mind Valley on a podcast, and he was talking about that. Michael Beckwith is here in LA. He runs the Agape Love Center. Just incredible guy.
I love it. I'm gonna have to check it out.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've been talking all things sort of it without really talking about manifestation specifically. We've been talking about manifestation and just creating a life that really aligns with intuition and purpose and just nothing but joy and love and light and happiness. So in all of that, I think I know the answer, but I have to ask it. So the thing that drives you, your North Star, which I talk about this all the time, that you have to go with the feeling, right? When we put the tangible things out into the world that drive us, which I mean, nice things they're my jam. I love them. So don't think that I'm hating on my nice things, because I'm not. I'm not, but I do believe that it's a feeling that truly sustains and drives us. Like when we focus on the things, I don't know, I think you lose the drive, right? And so it's got to be a feeling. So what is it really deep within you that drives you, your North Star?
Well, I couldn't agree more about the feeling. Everything has followed the feeling. It's the feeling of love and connection and service. I feel like I'm cheating because I picked 3, but it really is. It's like this that I'm sharing with you right now. I want to do this all the time. Like, I sell diamonds, but my favorite thing is the connection with my couples and hearing their love story. And honestly, like now I'm starting, helping other female entrepreneurs, like connecting with them. It's again, it's helping others connect to love within themselves so that they can enjoy life and give back to others. So that feeling flows into everything. That's kind of the thing. It's like, it doesn't matter what you do for a living. I mean, you can do a lot of different things, but you're really just a conduit for love and service. You're going to receive it and you're going to give it. And that's why I believe we're here in partnership, romantically, in partnership, platonically, business. That's what we're here to do. As a parent, Charlotte, I mean, she gives me so much. I don't know, it's this constant giving and receiving, and having your heart so open to love that you can experience it. Because there's a book called The Choice for Love by Dr. Barbara DeAngelis. Like, my quest for love was not just finding romantic partnership. It was like, actually, how can I be love? Like, the question I'm always asking is, what does love look like and how does it respond? If I'm triggered or if I'm just trying to get centered, what does love look like and how would it respond? It makes you think twice before you start to keep score in partnership, or you start to want to retaliate or withhold love. So anyway, it's love. I follow that feeling. It sounds cheesy, but it's true.
I was about to say, I love that. But and then I was like, hold on, can I come up with some other way to
Do
express
you
that?
love that? I love it too.
I love that. But I also, what you just said, I want to make sure that everyone heard that, because I feel like if you didn't catch it, we're going to say it again here, because what would love look like? What would love respond? How would love respond? I feel like if you can just keep that at the forefront of your mind, just everything shifts. Literally everything shifts, and you will be basically create a ripple effect in the world. Like if everyone could actually have that be sort of like their compass.
It's so
Yeah.
true. It's so true. In
I'm just,
partnership, if you're stuck, if you're pissed off at your boyfriend or your husband, if you're mad at a friend or family member, the answer is always love. It's not getting even. It's not responding with doing to them what they did to you. It's being more loving. It will bring out the best in them, and you'll bring out the best in your partner. That's like, you have to show up wanting to be your best and bring out the best in others before you want something from them. That is how you have the best partnership, how you will run the best business, how you attract the best clients. And I know that simply because I didn't used to do that. And what a game changer when you do, and you can make that shift.
100%. I'm also, what I'm hearing too from you, especially thinking about the journey that you have been on, and sort of just like the self growth and the stepping into your own personal worth, or to be able to do that and be the reflector of that, it really does begin with the self love, right? So you can't give love in its fullest capacity if you haven't fully connected with your own sense of self-love. Because as I was sitting there listening to you, I kept thinking there's a lot of people out there that might listen to that and turn into people pleasers with that. With
Yes.
that being at the forefront. So it's like, oh, am I to respond with
Oh,
love? No,
mm,
I just had this like funny like thought.
you're
I was like,
right.
oh,
No.
well,
That's
it
true.
not that we're not doling out bad advice here. That's not what I was saying. I just had this moment of this, like, oh, wow,
I
okay.
used to be a people pleaser. I totally might have responded that way. And the love has to start with yourself, with healthy boundaries, right? Like
Yes,
what, and so
yes.
ask that question for yourself when you're pissed at yourself for making a mistake. Like, have the most grace with yourself, and you'll have more grace with others.
Yes.
Like it starts with you. And by the way, the people pleasing, can I just tell you, like one of my therapists, like the best thing I ever heard to get me past the people pleasing is the 33% rule. Like 33% of the people you meet will love you. They'll just love you. They'll be like, oh my gosh, she's so cool. And then 33% of the people you meet, not going to vibe with you. No matter what you do, you try to people please them, they're going to be like, I don't like that chick. And then the other 33% are neutral. So like, no matter what you do, like, so just be true to yourself. You don't have to earn love. It's already there for you. It's already within you. And once you get to that place, and by the way, I know it's not easy. It took me time. We all have shadows from our childhood, mother wounds, father wounds, like imprints, all these things have to be worked through. But little by little, you can chip away at the ice over your heart, and it'll melt, and you will be so open to love for yourself, and then you'll be able to give it to others. That's kind of how it works.
So good. So many just nuggets of wisdom all throughout this conversation. And so now we're going to tie it in a nice little bow with one more juicy nugget. So if you had just some parting wisdom, whether it's something that you might have said to your younger self, or just some really juicy nugget that you want to share, what would it be?
Yeah, I would say the biggest thing is, oh God, I'm like, there's a couple. Okay, I would say in your relationships, um, business and romantic and friendship, always seek to give and add value before you even think about asking for something from them.
Mic drop.
It will change your life.
Mic drop. You might want to rewind and listen to that one more time. But before you rewind, I'd love for you to share, because I know everyone that's listening wants to know more about you and to follow you and be in your world. So, what is the best way for them to find you?
Oh, well, if you're on the gram, I am Miss Diamond Ring, and that's MISS Diamond Ring. And if you are interested in an intention diamond, you can find me at diamonds with soul, SOUL.com. And if you're looking for an engagement ring, congratulations. Go to missdiamondring.com. I have two websites and I should probably combine them, but I just can't bring myself to do it just yet because I spent so much time on both of them. So whatever.
Yeah, you know what? They're all working just fine and they're beautiful. I've looked at them both. So
Thank
all
you.
of that information will be down in the show notes for ease. And yeah, so go say hi, go take a look at her beautiful Instagram page. Make sure you put on some sunglasses before you do because the sparkle is real.
It is real.
Michelle will tell you, I pretty much message her all day, every day. And I'm like, obsessed. Oh my gosh, I'm in love.
Karina,
Stop.
Karina has a long wish list. Which we all do, by the way. It's great. Yeah, it's awesome. I have the coolest clients, and they all have the coolest stories. So lucky me.
Yes, absolutely. And lucky us for you being here today, sharing your love, your light, and just such wisdom today. I very much appreciate you. So much gratitude. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, Karine. It was really a pleasure.
We will catch you on the next episode.